Hello, everyone. Welcome in. Sorry for the delay. My goodness. I don't know if this has been y'all's experience, but technology can be a wonderful thing when it works. But guess what? When it doesn't work, it's a real pain in the tail. So I hope you're all doing well. Sorry for the delay. My computer, they talk about, sometimes in sports, yeah, there's the thing called the 40-yard dash. And if somebody's really slow, you say you could time them with the sundial. And so I've got to say, my laptop um, is so slow, I think you could time it with the sundial. Anyway, sorry, technical difficulties. I've been waiting. Uh, let's see. Oh, okay, yeah, I'll get you added here in a second, Jillian. Um, but anyway, yes, I apologize. Technical difficulties showed up late. Um, but anyway, let's get back on track here. Welcome in everybody. Stacy Rogers, great to see you. Thanks for being here. Thanks for dropping in on us. Appreciate you dropping in on us right before book club. Let's see here. Sorry, I'm pulling up the chat. My computer's finally catching up. So yeah. Tina says, "Hi, Will. Tech is great when it works. Yes, like computers, when they work, they're great. When they don't, they're paperweights." Yeah, right on, right on. Hit the nail on the head there, Tina. But yes, apologize for showing up late. I'm sorry. Just took forever to get my computer going, so I had to go get Jillian's. And then, of course, after I get Jillian's, mine decides, hey, you know what? I think it's time to start working. So anyway, Stacy Rogers, welcome in. Mandy Adams, Kevin Theme Park Adventure. Thank you for being here, both of you. Griswold Family Vacay, great to see you, Danny. Jonathan Chung, Dean the Turkey Lexter, Jillian. That is the real Jillian. Will the real Jillian Bone please stand up? That is in fact the real Jillian in the chat. We just have to go through and give her mod wrench back. But anyway, thanks for the help, Jillian, getting your computer fired up. Oh no, Jillian lost everybody she was sub to. No, yeah, that's rough. So anyway, but T McNeil, thank you again, Tina, for being here. Popbox, thank you for being here also. Let's see. Finally, so let me get Jillian added back as a mod real quick. Bear with me, a little bit of administrative uh, administrative duty here. Let's see. Uh, Sorry, give me a second. Okay. Question for the chat: do you know whether or not you are a standard or managing moderator? That's new for me. Jane and Travels, great to see you, John. Thanks for being here. Um, I guess I can always change it later on. Sorry. So kind of flying by the seat of my pants right here. So I apologize for that. But I'm going to go ahead, Jillian, get this fixed real quick. At least get you added as a standard moderator. We can always fix it later on. All right, Jillian, you may have a wrench again. I don't know how quickly that picks up, but anyway, yeah. Tina says I threaten my computer with a hammer on a regular basis. Usually works. Hey, there you go. Okay, Mikey says, as I know, we're all standard moderators. Thank you, Mikey. Appreciate you popping in on his testing. Yeah, it looks like at least on my end, Jillian has the wrench again. I'll fix it later on, Tina. I've already went with standard, but Mike Wheeler, great to see you, my friend. Thanks for being here. Let's see here. Get you written down here. It's just me tonight. Mom has some, you know, personal things to take care of. She's, just being there for a friend who's, husband's having a rough time right now, health wise. And so, anyway, prayers for Mike and especially and Brenda. But um, anyway, yeah. So mom's not here with us tonight, but I am going to run through and finish up the recap of our trip. Sorry here. So I'll run through my notes here. So last week, in true Bone Trip recap um, fashion, I'll thank you, Tina. I appreciate that. Um, but yeah, Danny, prayers for you and your loss as well. Our heart goes out to you, Danny, you and your family. Let's see here. Sorry, um, bringing up my notes here on my other computer. Let's see. All right. Let's see. Sorry, getting my notes together. So, and let me get this day in Disney history real quick. This day in Disney history, 1942. Singer-songwriter, multi-instrumentalist, and composer Paul McCartney is born. James Paul McCartney in Liverpool, England. Gaining worldwide fame as the bass guitarist and singer for the rock band The Beatles, his songwriting partnership with male band with bandmate John Lennon remains the most successful in history. McCartney made a cameo, this is awesome. McCartney made a cameo in Disney's 2017 Pirates of the Caribbean: Dead Men Tell No Tales as Jack Sparrow's paternal uncle. In August 2004, Miramax Films, at the time owned by Disney, released Paul McCartney music and animation, an animated anthology film compiling 3 animated short films produced by McCartney. He even appeared in the October-November 1992 issue of the Disney Channel magazine. In December 1973, Paul and Linda McCartney hosted an episode of Disney Time, a UK holiday television series running on the BBC. During production of the 1967 animated adaptation of Rudyard Kipling's The Jungle Book, Disney attempted to get the Beatles members to cameo. McCartney and his bandmates would have voiced a singing quartet of vultures filled with mop top hairstyles. So let's see here. Back to work on your project. Yeah, thank you for dropping in, Mikey. Well, let's see here. Here we go. Oh, that's funny. All right. This day in Disney history, 1943. Charles Laney, a Mouseketeer on the Mickey Mouse Club for 6 months between April and September of 1956, is born in California. A dancer, musician, singer, and gymnast, Charlie joined the show for the second season as a Blue Team replacement. Bill Walsh, originally from New York City, joins Disney as a writer for the Mickey Mouse comic strip, not Bill Walsh, the NFL coach for the 49ers. He will work with illustrator Floyd Gottfredson on the daily comic strip until 1964. During those years, Walsh will also develop into a film and TV producer and screenwriter. One of Walt's most trusted employees, he will take the Disney studio into the age of television with the first Disney special, 1 Hour in Wonderland, and later the Mickey Mouse Club. Walsh will be named a Disney legend in 1991. All right, here. Sorry, skimming the notes here. 1954, this day in Disney history. Disney's 8-minute animated short, Casey Bats Again, based on the famous poem Casey the Bat by Ernest L. Thayer, is released. Directed by Jack Kinney, Casey comes to the plate again, this time as the manager of the team, made up of his 9 daughters who managed to win despite Casey's leadership. So that's 1954. All right. Let's see. This day in Disney history, 1969, Disney's 1953 Peter Pan is re-released in theaters for a 3rd time. 1969, on this day in Disney history. Let's see. All right. Sorry, skimming the notes again. This day in Disney history, 1983, the Disneyland Parade Flights of Fantasy, which celebrates the opening of New Fantasyland, debuts. In January 2011, another Flights of Fantasy, a parade celebrating the 5th anniversary of Hong Kong Disneyland, will premiere. This day in Disney history, I've never watched the show, but I know a lot of people love it. Alex Hirsch, a writer, animator, and voice actor, best known as the creator of the Disney XD series Gravity Falls. I know it's really popular with a lot of folks. Again, I've never seen it before, but I know a lot of people love Gravity Falls. But the Alex Hirsch, born this day in Piedmont, California. He also provided the voices of Grunkle Stan, Suze, and Bill Cipher for the Annie Award winning series. Gravity Falls was inspired by Hirsch's own childhood experiences and his relationship with his twin sister Ariel. Hirsch's Disney credits also include Fish Hooks, a writer, creative consultant, Disney, or a storyboard artist and co-developer, Phineas and Ferb, Star versus the Forces of Evil, Big City Greens, The Owl House, and Amphibia. This day in Disney history, 1986. At the White House in Washington, D.C., President Ronald Reagan presents Disneyland with the President's Citation Award for private sector initiatives. Reagan also helped host Disneyland's debut back in 1955. Pretty neat. Let's see. This day in Disney history, 1988, Mickey's Birthday Land opens in the Magic Kingdom at Walt Disney World with a special ribbon cutting ceremony. Actress Cindy Williams from the 70s sitcom Laverne and Shirley and First Lady Nancy Reagan helped debut the new Magic Kingdom land. Located between Fantasyland and Tomorrowland, past the Tomorrowland Speedway, guests can also arrive via the Walt Disney World Railroad, as a new station has been added. Mickey's Birthday Land has been built to honor the mouse's 60th birthday, which will happen in November of 1988. At the end of Mickey's 60th birthday celebration on April 22nd, 1990, Mickey's Birthday Land will be closed and reopen in May 1990 as Mickey's Starland. Mickey's Starland will later be updated and turned into Mickey's Toontown Fair in October 1996. Mickey's Toontown Fair will ultimately close in February of 2011 to make way for the expansion of Magic Kingdom's Fantasyland, or New Fantasyland. This day in Disney history, 1995, the first wedding performed at Walt Disney World's Wedding Pavilion, a Victorian-style structure located next to the Grand Floridian. Previews on the Lifetime cable network show Weddings of a Lifetime. Hey, looky there. Dean says Disney's Tarzan celebrated its 25th anniversary over the weekend. That is amazing. Wow. Yeah, thanks. I think let's see. So Tarzan's 25, Lion King's 30. It's crazy. This is crazy. Yeah. Thanks for that, Dean. Good reminder. This day in Disney history, 1996, the Haber family becomes the first to move into Disney's newest Florida community celebration. How about that? 1996, this day in Disney history. Let's see. This day in Disney history, 1998, Disney's Mulan opens nationwide in Singapore. Yeah, here we go. So this day in Disney history, 1999, Disney's 37th animated feature Tarzan is generally released in the U.S. based on the classic story of Tarzan and the Apes by Edward Rice Burroughs. Is directed by Chris Buck and Kevin Lima. Hey, Dave Stragan, welcome in. Great to see you. Thanks for being here. Let me get you written out here, Dave. There we go. Thanks for being here, Dave. Let me check the. Let's see. Kevin Lima, the soundtrack features 5 songs by Phil Collins, who will later win both an Academy Award and a Grammy Award, to create the sweeping 3D backgrounds. Tarzan, fantastic animation. It's incredible. To create the sweeping 3D backgrounds, the production team has developed a 3D painting and rendering technique known as deep canvas. This technique allows artists to produce CGI background that looks like a traditional painting. Just incredible. For this advancement, the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences will later award the creators of Deep Canvas a Technical Achievement Award in 2003. How about that? So this day in Disney history, 1999, Tarzan, generally released in the U.S., just like Dean alluded to. Let's see here. This day in Disney history, 2002, Disney's direct-to-video Air Bud 7th Inning Fetch is released. Is the 4th film to air in the 4th film in the Air Bud series. Man, they got all the mileage they possibly could have out of Air Bud. They had Air Bud, and I think on Air Buddies with the puppies. Man, they got all the mileage they could possibly get out of Air Bud. I'll tell you what. So yes, this day in Disney history, Air Air Bud seventh inning fetch is released, direct to video. Let's see here. This day in Disney history, 2008 is reported that Wally is leading a campaign by NASA and Walt Disney Studios Motion Pictures to promote interest amongst school children in science. And yeah, there you go, Santa Paws buddies. There you go, Dave. Yeah, Air Bud was quite the series. Really was. Um, I think Wyatt would enjoy that. May have to break out Air Bud. I need to see if it's on Disney Plus. If that's a that'd be one worth showing him. Um, but let's see, Wally. Let's see. So NASA and Disney have signed a Space Act agreement for a series of educational and public outreach activities related to the Pixar movie. Hey, Jerry, thanks for being here. Yeah, where's mom? Yeah, so mom's actually looking after a friend tonight. Her husband's in bad health, so um, but anyway, so prayers for for Mike and Brenda. But great to see you, Jerry. Thanks for being here. Get you written down here. Oh, let's see here. Yes, so there's a campaign by NASA and Walt Disney Studios Motion Pictures to promote science and technology. This day in Disney history, 2008. This day in Disney history, 2009, Disneyland Resort salutes the 2009 world champion Los Angeles Lakers with a victory parade down Main Street, USA in Disneyland. The Lakers defeated the Orlando Magic to win the title in a fairy tale series that matched up teams located near the Disneyland Resort in Anaheim and Walt Disney World near Orlando. Yeah, yeah, thanks. I appreciate that, Jerry. Um, let's see. Yeah, there you go. Watched a lot of Air Bud there, Dave says. Um, but let's see here. This day in Disney history, 2010, Toy Story 3 is released along with a short day and night to theaters in the US. Toy Story 3, I mean, honestly, they could have stopped it with 3 and I would have been perfectly fine. But Toy Story 3, I mean, you know, uh, it's hard to maintain that high level of quality. Many series can't pull it off. I think Lord of the Rings, fantastic trilogy. There's so many so many different series out there or trilogies out there that inevitably some are noticeably better than others because they're it's like they put out the first one, it's a hit, and they're like, okay, how do we many times the sequel is not even as high quality as the original, but Toy Stories 1 and 2 and 3 all top notch. Toy Story 4 was good as well. uh still a little sad, related to the ending of Toy Story 4, the decision to split them up. But anyway, maybe they'll right the ship and reverse that decision in Toy Story 4 or Toy Story 5 when that comes out inevitably at some point. Also, this day in Disney history, 2011, the premiere of the new Disney Pixar animated feature film Cars 2 takes place at the El Capitan Theater in Hollywood. The sequel to the original Cars cruises into theaters June 24th. Uh, Rewinding it back real quick. Toy Story 3, to set the scene for you a little bit. Uh, went to go watch Toy Story 3 with my mom and my little brother. And this is 2010. So this comes out the summer before I head off to college, and right at the beginning of the movie and to the end of the movie, me, mom, and Adam are all boohooing and all crying, because I think I was in kindergarten whenever the first Toy Story came out, and then my little brother, Toy Story 2 was, his Aladdin, if you will. So my parents have, my mom's talked several times on the channel about how, I just watched Aladdin virtually on repeat, sitting in my little wooden rocking chair. Well, Adam, his, the movie that he watched a ton was Toy Story 2. And so, obviously we love, the Toy Story franchise. Who doesn't? I mean, it's wonderful. But anyway, Toy Story 3, just all three of us, me, mom, and Adam, the summer, but it's in the summer right before, not right before, but it's in the summer before I head off to college. And Andy's going, leaving for college, and it's just, it had us all boo-hooed. But anyway, wonderful, wonderful movie. But yeah, that's just a sidebar, personal memory for Toy Story 3 as as I was heading off to college at the same time Andy was in the movie. So um, this day in Disney history, 2012. The second phase of Disney's Art of Animation Resort opens at Walt Disney World. The wing dedicated to the popular film Cars is themed after the Cozy Cone Motel, taking on a notably different tone than the vibrant Finding Nemo wing, which opened May 31st in 2012. The new Cars area embodies the feeling of a sleepy little town of Radiator Springs. Um, Disney's Art of Animation Cars wing is Walt Disney World's 26th resort. Let's see here. This day in Disney history, 2013, Walt Disney World officially reopens the Main Street Bakery at Magic Kingdom Park, featuring for the first time Starbucks drinks, along with Disney house-made treats. Main Street Bakery, which is designed to fit with the current theme of Main Street USA, won't be the only Walt Disney World location to serve Starbucks. As previously announced, all other locations are coming to Epcot, Disney's Hollywood Studios, and Disney's Animal Kingdom. So 2013 is when business picked up with Disney and Starbucks. Welcome in, WDW Explorer Chill. Thanks for being here. Get you written down here. Here we go. All right. This day in Disney history, 2018, Big City Greens. Again, I don't know anything about Gravity Falls or Big City Greens, other than the fact that I did watch the Big City Greens NHL crossover, where they animated in real time a hockey game using Big City Greens characters, which was pretty entertaining. And then they took the proof of concept was the hockey game, so Big City Greens crossover with NHL. They took that concept and then applied that, that real time animation, applied that to the NFL and Toy Story last season. So, which is pretty fun to watch too. Which Wyatt really enjoyed it. He had a lot of fun watching that football game with it being, animated in like Toy Story. So pretty neat. But Big City Greens premiered on Disney Channel this day in Disney history, 2018. Let's see here. Sorry, I'm screening the this day in Disney history. This day in Disney history, 2020, Hong Kong Disneyland reopens after a major drop in coronavirus cases in the Chinese territory. Closed for 5 months. It is the second Disney theme park to reopen. Advanced reservations will be required, and only limited attendance will be allowed at the park. And this day in Disney history, 2021. Hey, Miss Najuma, welcome in. Great to see you. Thanks for being here. Get you written down here, Miss Najuma. All right. This day in Disney history, 2021. Luca, a computer animated coming of age fantasy comedy film produced by Pixar Animation Studios and distributed by Walt Disney Studios Walt Disney Studios Motion Pictures is released. Set on the Italian Riviera in 1963, the film centers on Luca Paguro, a sea monster boy with the ability to assume human form while on land, who explores the town of Porto Rosso with his new best friend, Alberto Scorfano, experiencing a life-changing summer. The voice cast features Jacob Tremblay as Luca, Jack Dylan Grazer as Alberto Scorfano, Luca's best friend, Emma Berman as Julia, Maya Rudolph as Daniela, and Jim Gaffigan as Lorenzo, Luca's parents. But anyway, that the quote for this day in Disney history on this page here is I was saved by a man, flying wild man in a loincloth, which obviously is a quote from Jane Porter from Tarzan. It was a pretty funny quote there. But anyway, that wraps up this day in Disney history. Real quick as a refresher, I'll kind of talk you through, give you the abbreviated version of what I've already covered from our trip. So we were at Disney or Orlando really. We were in Orlando from May 25th to June 4th. Our first day was at our first part day was at Epcot. Our next part day was at Hollywood Studios, and then our last two part days were at Magic Kingdom and Animal Kingdom. So we had some rest days built in there, obviously. Um, Real quick hits on traveling with children, just a few tips. If you need a stroller, check Disney.com to make sure it meets their guidelines. Wagons are not allowed into the parks unless there's a medical reason for them. If you're able to work it into the budget, Genie Plus is obviously helpful to help cut down on some of those wait times. If you got little ones, sometimes it could be challenging to stay patient, especially if they're tired, they're hot, they're hungry. So if you can work it into the budget, Genie Plus to cut down on wait times is beneficial. Drink lots of water, stay hydrated, prepare a schedule ahead of your trip for park days and rest days so that you'll know what you'll be doing. Include a list of potential activities for non-park days. For little ones, you got to make sure, let them rest when they can. Um, it can be easy to say, I just want to go, go, go. And anyway, you've got to remember to get some rest, work some rest in there too. But take breaks, plan rest days if you can, if your schedule allows. Consider buying gift cards for your kids, so they have that kind of that spending limit to know that, okay, when you spend this much per day, or you've spent all your money, it's gone. Um, but so that's a good way to help manage how much you're spending too, and give them a sense of, oh, uh maybe I hold off on buying this big thing right off the bat because I might want to see something I want later on. So anyway, balance rides with shows and attractions with air conditioning. So if you can, especially with when it gets really hot outside during the summer there in Florida, um, if you can move kind of point to point and kind of stay cool, or balance, having to wait outside, in a line with, sitting inside for a show. I mean, think, Fill Our Magic, Hall of Presidents, um, you can work in plenty of ways to get to be shaded also, and also in the air conditioning. Um, so, kind of keep that in mind. That way you're not outside, directly in the sun cooking the whole time, because that'll wear them out fast. Obviously, if you have strollers, they've got the covers that come over the top too to help shade them. So, let's see. Check the extended weather forecast. Take umbrellas or rain ponchos. I saw a reel today on Facebook where people have they're like shoe covers, like plastic, like shoe rain covers. Which I was like, hey, that's a pretty good idea. I've not ever thought to do that. I've just always kind of put the poncho on it and just kept on going. But anyway, it'd be worth looking into. May have to price that out. See how much little shoe covers, little plastic shoe. They had like a little zipper on them. But just saw a video on that today. Buy magic bands and things of that nature ahead of time, so you can link them to your Walt Disney World account. It doesn't take very long to do, but that's not something you want to do while you're trying to wrangle kids or keep an eye on kids. So if you plan to use them, of course, you don't have to use magic bands, but it can be helpful. That way you're not having to fumble into your wallet and get your park ticket out and risk losing it. And also to get the little sliders for your magic band too. You can buy it on Amazon to help to keep them from falling off. You just take and slide the slider off of both sides there, and it'll help keep it in place. And if you can get autograph books, lots of people, a big trend these days, it seems like on social media, is to have all sorts of things autographed. You know, People have like tumblers autographed, and then they put like an epoxy coating over it. People have like the white part of frames signed by characters, and then they put a picture of themselves in the middle. Um, we still take autograph books ourselves. Some people have taken Lorcana cards and had them autographed. But anyway, or had their kids like draw a picture of a character and then have that autographed. But Anyway, just be mindful also too. Whenever not every character signs. There are some like Olaf. The story is, well, he's got twigs for arms, but he's still learning how to write. So whenever for instance, if you go to meet Olaf, they'll give you a little, which I wish I had it. I don't have it in here. It's probably in Jillian's park bag, but um, they give you a little card that has Olaf's signature on it. Instead of him signing an autograph book. So just heads up on that. There are some other characters that they do the same thing. Um, yeah, where they give you an autograph card versus signing in the autograph book. Oh, let's see here. So again, so our first park day was May 26th. We went to Epcot, had a great time there. If you want the details on that day, check out our last week's stream. Let's see, and then let's see here. We hung out at the resort. Went to the Grand Floridian Cafe, and hopped around on the Skyliner, checked out the Polynesian. And then so let's see here. Oh, that's right. My notes are missing oh no, my notes for our Hollywood Studios Day are missing. Um, oh no. Anyway, main takeaways from the Hollywood Studio Day, just off the top of my head. I got it. Let me write that down. Let's see here. Let me write this down here real quick. Sorry. I'm sure Mom will want to talk more about the trip next week. But let me make a note here. Notes from our Hollywood Studios Day. So we started off. All right, let's see how much I can pull back from the memory banks here. I do know for a fact we started off at Mickey Me's Runaway Railway. They're right there in front of the park. Hopped in line. I think the wait time was posted like 45 minutes or something. It did not take that long. The girls loved Mickey Me's Runaway Railway. They thought it was a lot of fun. Let's see here. Let's see. We rode Tower of Terror. We did, which I got my Wookiee cookie, which was great. Finally secured the Wookiee cookie. I'll have to post that picture at some point. But finally got the Wookiee cookie, and it was great. And I did hear that they changed the recipe up on the Wookiee cookie. It's different than it was originally when they rolled it out. It was still very good. And I shared, it is a big oatmeal cream pie cookie. And so I, broke pieces off, shared it with, Jillian and the boys and my parents and my nieces. Um, but finally got the Wookiee cookie that I've been chasing for several trips now. I've had opportunities, and I just said, "Oh, I'll get it later," and I did in fact not get it later. So I finally got the Wookiee cookie on this trip, but I thoroughly enjoyed that. It'll be something I'll have to get, future trips as well. We also got this popcorn bucket here, the reclaimed Star Trooper helmet popcorn bucket that they put out on May 4th this year. We ended up getting that. They had restocked that again while we were there. So we were thrilled to get that popcorn bucket. I got there's a new plastic cup at the Blue Milk stand. I don't know how new it is actually, but anyway, I'm a sucker for cups. And here's Exhibit A, Will being a sucker for Disney cups. This is so this obviously has a Banshee on it. This is a plastic cup that came from Pandora. I kind of turn around here. I don't know how well you can actually see, but it's a very elaborate in its markings and has the big Banshee head right here. Let me see if I can hold that in closer. Yeah. Oh, Jillian says that's my cup, bro. I don't know how well memory serves me, but I thought this was my cup. Um, I guess it's our cup because what's yours is mine. And I lost the light thing. I think that happened when we moved. Um, but anyway, so originally, what came in this cup was a night blossom. So the drink that they still sell there at Pandora, the Avatar Land in Animal Kingdom. So anyway, awesome cup. And again, this is Exhibit A of I'm a sucker for cool cups at Disney. Um, but anyway, so we got the blue milk cup that they had this year. Oh, Jillian says, actually, it's mine, and I have a picture to prove it. You drank out of the plain cup, and I gave her the cup. See, Jillian, but benevolence by me. Jillian says, actually, it's mine because I have a picture to prove it. You drank out of the plain cup, and you gave me the cup. So there we go. Exactly. Yeah, I'm a sucker for cool cups at Disney. But anyway, yes, out of the goodness and kindness of my heart, Jillian got the cool cup, and I got the plastic cup that I drank my Night Blossom out of because I figured I was like, hey, we both don't need a cup, right? I was probably trying to save a little bit of money too. So yeah, Jillian says that popcorn bucket is mine too. Yes, yes, this is technically Jillian's popcorn bucket here, um, but I digress. Um, so anyway, let's see. We did Muppet Vision 3D. Where all we eat that day? We ate. Oh man, I'm drawing the biggest blank. We did not get Ronto wraps, much to my disappointment. We did not get Ronto wraps. We ate at the commissary, which actually I enjoyed my meal at the commissary. It was solid. Um, but yes, we yeah, Jillian says I have the Beast Cup, so that's all you need. I must say, if I do say so myself, my Beast Cup from Be Our Guest, with the castle on it and it lights up the whole 9 yards, is an awesome cup. It is a full blown chalice, if you will. Uh, it is an amazing cup. I've showed it on stream uh, before, but Jillian said, "Yeah, we ate dinner back at the resort." I thought, which is insane because it's midnight. Yeah, yeah, it was late. Um, but we did the 10:30 showing of Phantasmic. So they've been running I think a 9 o'clock and a 10:30 showing. So it's actually 30 minutes after park close. So that was we got the most we possibly could out of our day there at Hollywood Studios. We did Midway Mania. We did Slinky Dog Dash. Um, Alien Swirling Saucers. We did Single Rider for Smuggler's Run. So those that wanted to do, I think which funny, me and Dad actually ended up in the same group but we did Single Rider for Smuggler's Run. And Jillian hung out. We met Chewbacca, and I think Jillian and Kylie met Ray. But anyway, pretty neat. Trying to think of what else we did this day. Star Tours. I mentioned this last week. There are lots of folks that they're like, oh, they kind of target a ride. They'll be like, oh, that ride stinks. They need to upgrade it, update it. They need to put something else in there, yada yada yada. Well, it was pretty cool because my nieces are not big Star Wars people. I don't know that they know any of the characters, honestly, outside of the ones that everybody knows. They're not big on Star Wars. I don't even know if they've seen all the movies. But anyway, they love Star Tours, and by when I say they, I mean literally. Wyatt, and then and my nieces, Kylie, Hadley, Landry. They love Star Tours, and so I was very entertained by it because I wasn't sure what they think of it, but they really enjoyed it. Um, yes, we also did the Frozen show. And that one's always fantastic. Another great way to spend some time in the AC and thoroughly enjoy the entertainment. The host and hostess that they have for those Frozen shows there at Hollywood Studios are all hilarious. I've never once been to, and I've seen different hosts. I've never in the times that I've gone, I've never seen a bad duo with the host and hostess of the Frozen show. It's hilarious every single time. They all do the comedy a little bit differently. Sometimes they'll make some of the same jokes, but many times they kind of make their own jokes, which I think is awesome. That they have kind of a little bit of creative freedom there. But it's hilarious every single time. Um, let's see. So we did not make it to the Indiana Jones stunt show. Wyatt really wanted to make it to the Indiana Jones stunt show, but we had to go. Um, we had to go ride Slinky Dog Dash, if I remember correctly, at that time. So he didn't make it to the stunt show. We'll have to do that next time because he really wanted to do that. We time ran too late. Um, but the girls enjoyed Tower of Terror. Wyatt and Landry did not ride it, so Dad hung out with them, and then he kind of swapped out and went to go ride it. But anyway, so I teased this last week. For the first time ever, we came across a character palooza. So you're bringing up Tower of Terror. We were hanging out in that area. And there's a Joffrey's there at the exit to the Tower of Terror. There's a Joffrey stand, and there's kind of some areas. There's kind of a little shaded area with a little slots you can kind of sit in. Um, but anyway, so you come out of the gift shop, boom, Joffrey's are right in front of you. So on the left, if you go to the right, you could wrap back around past the entrance to Tower of Terror. Standby line and the lightning lane line. But so that's if you go to the right. So in front of you, you've got the Joffrey stand to the right. You'd go back on down, back down the street and towards like your Rock and Roller Coaster and back down the street towards like the entrance to the Phantasmic and everything else, getting back to the rest of the park. But anyway, to the left, there's giant doors there. And it had to be around like, I don't know, ballpark, like I'm gonna guess somewhere between 4 and 5 ish, maybe when we were there. And again, we're alternating like who's gonna ride Tower of Terror. Um, and so some people rode it first, and then and also too, we had kind of split up a little bit too. And me and Dad and I think Hadley or my Landry and Wyatt had kind of gone there, but anyway, so we're there. We're just kind of hanging out, and they open up the gate and start bringing asking people if they want to come in. And there's a ton of characters in there. So I think this is everybody from the first one. It's Rafiki, Chip and Dale, and Goofy were there initially. And so then I think I want to say like me and Dad. I can't remember if me and Dad rode the ride and then we came back out and there were more people. But the first group was, I think, Rafiki, Chippendale, and Goofy. And then the next group was Miko, Pocahontas, Donald Duck, Moana, and Jasmine. And this is the first time I've always wanted to, stumble upon a character palooza. And this one was fantastic. It was great too. I mean, we were there. The girls, Kylie, Hadley, Landry, and then also Wyatt, and us too. Everybody was able to make it to the second one. But I think for the first one, I think it was just like me. I want to say it was like me, Dad, Kylie, me, Dad, and Kylie. I think made it to the first bunch. So Rafiki, Chippendale, and Goofy. But it was incredible. Yeah, it's a jackpot, right, Tina? So it being so Kylie's been to Disney twice before this trip, but Hadley and Landry, it's their first trip, and so with us trying to hit as many rides and shows, like trying to do as much as we can, stopping to meet characters was not a huge necessarily priority per se. Oh, me and Jillian and Wyatt and Wesley met Olaf earlier in the day. I wanted to mention that also. But so talk about extra magical. Kylie, Hadley, Landry, all getting to meet Miko, Pocahontas, Donald Duck, Moana, and Jasmine. They loved it, and we got some great pictures and video of them meeting those characters. And Wyatt was also there too. But Awesome moment, for them on their, for Hadley and Landry especially, for it being their first trip to get to meet all those characters just, completely out of nowhere. So there again, that's there close to the exit of the Tower of Terror. Uh, you know, I don't know how frequently they do that, if it's an everyday thing or roughly around the same time or not. I do know that characters, have met down there, you know, pretty frequently. But again, I don't know set hours or set days or anything like that. So sometimes it's just right time, right place. But um, anyway, it was incredible. I did again. I was very, I got a good kick out of it. That the girls enjoyed Star Tours so much, not knowing that much about Star Wars, but they loved the ride. Um, Phantasmic, bless her heart. Um, Landry and Wyatt were both worn out. It's the end of the day. It's 10:30 at night. Landry and Wyatt, both 4 and 5, and bless her heart, Kylie um, had Landry laying down with her head on her left leg, at her thigh, and then had Wyatt laying down on her right side, with his head on her right thigh. And she's trying, watching Phantasmic, and bless her heart. Credit to her for being a great big sister, and a great older cousin, because she was excellent. Wyatt Wyatt loves all his cousins, uh, but I do think he thinks that Kylie is extra cool. I think maybe because she's a little older, but anyway. But bless her heart, I really do appreciate Kylie for having both the little ones with their heads on either leg, sleeping during Phantasmic. And I'll tell you what, it was awesome. Because I think even though Kylie had been a couple of times, even though she's been to Hollywood Studios a couple times prior to this, I think this was her first time seeing Phantasmic. I'm pretty sure, and the expression on her face. Spoiler alert for anybody who had somehow, if you never seen Phantasmic before, I guess plug your ears for the next 30 seconds or so. But when Mickey goes from the top of the mountain down to the bottom of this, like down to the center stage, um, her jaw dropped. I specifically turned to look at her, like to look over at her real quick when that moment happens. Her jaw just dropped. And it's, I mean, that is, that's that magic, that, and showmanship. Um, I love Phantasmic. I think that the old show flowed a little better, quite frankly, but I do think it's good that they, you know, added in, new characters from newer movies too. But anyway, just to see her jaw drop when Mickey goes from up high to down low, it was awesome. So really, really cool. Yeah, yeah, quite an imagination, huh? Some imagination, huh? Uh, so anyway, we had a great day that day. Um, and to run into that character Palooza was incredible. And I will say this, quick sidebar. Um, most of the time I have great experiences with Disney security. Do I get pulled aside every single time because I have magnets and my gimbal? I've just got a lot of metal that I carry around in my backpack. Between my gimbal, pins, buttons, changed for which really I don't even need it anymore because they make you put a dollar bill in. But the coin machines like Pret Smush pennies, I don't even think you can put 51 cents in there. Two quarters and a penny. I don't even think you can do that anymore. I think they just require you to put a dollar bill in these days. But anyway, um, I still bring them anyway, the quarters and the pennies, but which I don't even think I ended up getting a smush penny this time around. I may have gotten one, but anyway, uh, you know, if somehow this comes across a security cast member, here's my message to you. I know you put up with a lot of junk. I'm not out looking to make any enemies. But and I know you put up with a lot of junk every single day. And and we thank you for doing your job, and it's very important. Uh, but Anyway, the way that you deal with people in a position like that, um, try to be as courteous as possible. Because I had a couple of not so fun run-ins with security. And I wasn't being an idiot. Dummy. Sorry, not supposed to say stupid. Uh, because it's a bad word. So sorry, Wyatt, if you end up seeing this. But I wasn't being a idiot or a dummy. Um, and yet there were a couple of cast members that security cast members that just gave me a hard time this time, and especially at the start of your park day, it does not start it off on the right foot. I'll talk more about my Animal Kingdom day, but the couple the security cast members that I had on my Hollywood Studios day, I don't know if they had just it was like or it's early in the morning. They were like 15-20 minutes deep into their shift at that point. You know, and so anyway, I was just like, man, like, why are you guys this crabby? Like, it's the start of the day, and that's not the normal experience I have with the security cast members. So anyway, I just ran into some real doozies on my both my Hollywood Studios day and my yeah, both my Hollywood Studios day and my Animal Kingdom day. I'm not out looking to be a jerk or anything like that, but for whatever reason, especially the Hollywood Studios day was especially negative, and I don't know why, and it started my day off on a rough foot. But gradually bounce back over the course of the day. But again, that can kind of set the tone for your day. So, anyway, for whatever reason, they were the two guys that I ran into that morning at Hollywood Studios were very, very cranky. Um, but moving on, I'll talk more about my Animal Kingdom day here in a minute. But moving on, had another day. We hung out at the resort. Um, let's see here again. Monorail hopped. Jillian went to Animal Kingdom. I picked her up from there um, later on the 30th. The 31st was Hadley's birthday. We bought Genie Plus that day. Um, the monorail wasn't open to start the day. So thankfully, we did ride the monorail the day before doing monorail hop. Um, but the monorail was not open that morning, so everybody was getting on the ferry boats. We took pictures in front of the train station and the castle. There were some issues with, linking Stephen and Jamie's tickets because they just had 1 day tickets. So there were some issues there. Mom was trying to work that out. So, we were kind of trying to wait for her there at the front of the park. But we got family pictures in front of the train station and the castle before everybody is sweaty and gross. Um, and it was just wonderful, to have all, only one we were missing was Adam and his girlfriend Lauren. We had everybody else. We had Stephen and Jamie and all his girls, and me and Jillian and our boys and mom and dad, all in pictures in front of the castle. It was wonderful, to get those before everybody gets sweaty and gross and everything. Got those right at the start of the day. Um, First ride for the day was It's a Small World, which of course was a walk on at that point in the day. Next, we did Pirates of the Caribbean, Lightning Laned it. It was a 35-minute wait. I'll echo what Mom said last week. Mom really thanked Jillian a lot for managing Genie Plus on this day. She did a fantastic job of picking things that were stacking Lightning Lane reservations. So again, I'll echo that again. Jillian did a great job managing Genie Plus for us on this day. And so anyway, Small World was a walk on. We Lightning Lane Pirates of the Caribbean. 35-minute wait posted. We did the Enchanted Tiki Room. We rode the Haunted Mansion, Lightning Lane. That was a posted 45-minute wait, and then we watched the Festival of Fantasy Parade, and then after that did the Hall of Presidents, and then we went to the Crystal Palace with Bone Party of 12. So this was the day we actually had everybody together for Hadley's birthday. It was wonderful. After the Crystal Palace, I myself went and stopped by and listened to Grayson play the piano for just a minute. He was towards the end of his set. He played. He played. Uh, what I've been looking for from. Let's see. Yeah, there you go. Tina. He played the what I've been looking for from High School Musical. So he was playing that, and he told somebody there in the crowd he'd like to come up with a full set of songs to play, like a medley of songs to play for High School Musical. And then he played, I think, a couple other songs, maybe from like one of the Broadway plays or something like that. It wasn't one I was familiar with. Um, but anyway, he wrapped it up, and I thanked him like I always do. Grayson is my personal favorite cast member, aside from the people that I know. The cast members that I know that that work there. Um, and have worked there in the past. But Grayson, I just thoroughly he's incredibly talented. I thoroughly enjoy listening to him play. Um, and share his gift of being able to play the piano so well with guests every single day. At their Magic Kingdom, and they're outside of Casey's. Um, Next thing we did was the Carousel of Progress, and then the Mad Tea Party. Then, so we did have to hike across the park here after the Mad Tea Party over to Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. It was lightning landed. It was a posted 35-minute wait. So we broke up into groups for this one, and rode it kind of in shifts. While one group was going, the other group, was able to go by and look at Tiana's Bayou Adventure. They were running boats with people on them. They had a bunch of video crews, like film crews, there, filming people riding the ride and stuff, and getting kind of different angles of the ride and everything. And so that was pretty cool. So just kind of like we're we're looking out, checking out there. Yeah, there you go. Jonathan says need Jillian's voice as Jarvis / Friday for the Disney Genie on the app. There you go. But so that was cool to kind of check out Tiana's Bayou Adventure in person there. Just kind of look over the ride. Obviously, weren't able to ride it. It opens up, I think, June 28th is when it opens to the public. So they're still doing previews. I think they're doing previews up till Thursday. I think the 20th maybe. But anyway, man, I keep seeing reports of animatronics being down, and them having to evacuate people off the ride, and them having to stop doing boarding groups for this ride. And it is, man, they're just having a rough go of it, and for me, I know that stuff happens, and these animatronics that they're making these days are so, intricate. Um, but I think it was a real mistake. From what I've read, I would think that I think that there's like a sensor in the boats that kind of triggers the yeah. Jonathan says they call it previews, but it's more like testing. Yeah, that's been the case thus far. Um, but from what I've read, there are sensors in the boats that trigger their movements, which to me, like, okay, that's cool when it all works. But if it's not working, and this is a brand new ride, that's not a good look. And honestly, like one of the things too, I think with in comparison to Splash Mountain, the animatronics just moved. Like, you caught whatever movements they were doing as you passed by. Whereas I believe with these ride vehicles, there's some sort of sensor, from what I've seen people claim at least, that triggers the animation. Triggers the movements. And so anyway, which again, I think to myself, I'm like, okay, like, you know, I don't know why you would do that to yourself whenever you know that there are boats coming through continuously. So anyway, hopefully they can work the kinks out. It's been a rough start thus far for Tiana's Bayou Adventure. And I can't help but think, like, I think there's a D23 preview coming up, and people are paying specifically to ride that and attend that, for that window of time. Um, so, they for sure at least need to have it together for that. Because it would stink, for people like me or mom, to go down there and, like mom did the D23 Tron preview. Imagine, planning a trip, flying down there, and then, oh, sorry, it's the ride's down. It's like you can't do that. So anyway, hopefully they can get it together. Um, I from what I've seen, it looks really really cool. The animatronics look really neat. I'll wait to pass judgment on it until I actually ride it. But anyway, it is off to an absolutely rough start. And so I hope they can, get it together, circle the troops and get everything hammered out here. But um, yeah. Tina says I think it's one of those things where they overthink it instead of sticking to the story and not relying on tech. Yeah, I mean, Rise of the Resistance, can go down from time to time, and there's a B mode for that. Where they kind of have Kylo covered up, but anyway, and they have him like in a ship, like they have windows there on the wall, and they have him like in a ship, flying around, and then he'll get like blasted or whatever, and then you turn the corner, and then you're gone. So you don't get to see the really cool animatronic. But anyway, yeah, hopefully they can get it together. Because yeah, I mean, this is a brand new ride. Come on. Um, so again, picked up Big Thunder Mountain Railroad, 35-minute wait posted. We did Lightning Lane. We had next was the Mini Adventures of Winnie the Pooh, 35-minute wait. 35-minute wait. We Lightning Laned it. Next, we did Under the Sea, Journey of the Little Mermaid, Lightning Lane that as well. And then we had our virtual queue boarding group, number 109 for Tron. And so we really enjoyed that. My older brother, Steven, I really enjoyed that ride. And next we did Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin, Lightning Lane that. And then we Lightning Lane to Tomorrowland Speedway and picked up some Cosmic Rays while we were waiting. Picked up some Cosmic Rays. Mom and Dad went to Casey's to go pick up some food. And then I think they watched the fireworks from Casey's. And the rest of us were all gathered up. So we were just, if you're facing the castle, we were over to the right there in the hub, just a little bit. And it's so funny because we had our spot, and this guy was like, he had to have been like 6'4", 6'5", super tall guy. And then they kind of have, the cast members come through and kind of tell you to move up a little bit, clear out the walkway and all that. And so we did that, and thankfully the really really tall guy worked his way over and out of our line of sight, and it was great. But anyway, oh, what was really funny is on Tomorrowland Speedway, I rode it with Wyatt, and and we do the whole circle, and Wyatt's clanged up against the guardrail and all that. We had fun. We took a selfie in the car together, and we're having fun, and I'm helping him push the gas because his foot is his leg's just long enough to where he can push the gas in a little, but I can hold it in, hold it down for him much easier. So without him having to stretch out a little bit. But anyway, he, we make our way back over into the area to get off the ride of the Tomorrowland Speedway out of the car. And Wyatt says, "Daddy, I can drive now." And I said, "Oh, yeah." I said, "Yeah, you can drive at the Tomorrowland Speedway, little buddy." So it's pretty funny as he was so excited. He said, "Daddy, I can drive now." It's like, whoa, as a dad, let's pump the brakes a little bit, buddy. We still got a ways to go before we can talk about you driving. That's what I said on the inside. So anyway, let's slow things down. Let's slow time down a little bit as much as we can, because before we know it, he will be old enough to drive. I don't even want to think that far ahead. Lord willing. But anyway, so we got some Cosmic Rays. A little bit of miscommunication between me and Jillian. We both ended up ordering food, but we were able to share it, so it worked out fine. Share it with. I think I gave Dad some nuggets, but some of my chicken. But anyway, Oh, let's see. Then of course we watched Happily Ever After, and it was so sweet. So sweet. I asked Hadley, and it was her birthday, and she turned 8 um, this day. And so I asked her the next day, I said, "Hey, what's your favorite part of Magic Kingdom yesterday?" And she said, "My favorite part was my daddy holding me during the fireworks." And so, it's a good thing Steven's still pretty stout, still got got that country boy strength. But anyway, he had a 8-year-old Hadley on one side and Landry on the other. And anyway, I thought it was just the sweetest thing in the world. She said, that her favorite part of her Magic Kingdom day was her daddy holding her during the fireworks. So, Steven, you may have been tired and your arms wore out by the end of that, but it was well worth it. Well worth it. For her to have that memory of you holding her during the fireworks. So, um, after that, Stephen, Stephen and Stephen and Jamie and I think I think Hadley and Landry went back. They were tired, so they head back to the resort. But I think me, mom and dad, Jillian, Wyatt, Wesley ended up staying. Jillian was, kind of tired too. She just wanted to go sit over in the hub grass there next to Casey's, and so um, the rest of us went to go do the Magic Carpets of Aladdin and ride Pirates of the Caribbean. And also, I picked up oh, what was it called? Um, I picked up some sort of treat from the Aloha Isle. Let me look this up real quick. I can, might be a mistake here. Let's see, Aloha Isle menu. Let's see if I can pull this up real quick. So I got think it's the tropical serenade. Let's see. Wait a minute now. What did I get? I got the tropical serenade. It's pineapple orange guava juice, coconut soft serve, and an upside down pineapple cake pop. I really enjoyed it. Jillian wasn't a huge fan of it, surprisingly, because she likes coconut. But I personally enjoyed it. It's a tropical serenade. It's $7.99 there at Aloha Isle next to the Magic Carpets of Aladdin. It's again pineapple orange guava juice, coconut soft serve, and an upside down pineapple cake pop. So I shared the cake pop with Jillian and Kylie, and it was good. I enjoyed it. I did not enjoy it as much as the Kakamora float, which hopefully they bring the Kakamora float back whenever Moana 2 comes out later this year. Let's see here. So again, that closed out our Magic Kingdom night. I played around a little bit with the Play Disney app, and waved my hand at some of the 50th anniversary celebration statues of the characters. So got some of those on my app. Um, and the next day was Animal Kingdom. So we had a late night there there closing out Magic Kingdom. Animal Kingdom, Jillian decided to stay home with Wesley this day just to keep him. I mean, she has price isn't bad for what you got. Yeah, exactly, right, Jonathan. Cake pop. I mean, those things by themselves can be pretty pricey. Um, but Jillian decided to keep Wesley home this day. Just because she was tired and wanted to keep make sure Wesley didn't get too much sun and all that. So she stayed home. But me, mom and dad, and the girls, and Wyatt all went to Animal Kingdom this next day. And again, Jillian's got an annual pass, so she was able to go in on our non-park days for everybody else. Started off the day with Dinosaur. We got in a little bit late. Oh, back to security. So hey, Kevin, thanks for being here. Great to see you. Um, Animal Kingdom, I talked about security earlier in the show. This is the first time this ever happened to me. So the whole night, everything's great. Everything's great. They run through the whole bit. They go through my backpack, checking out all my stuff. They wand me down. All that was fine. And then I go to walk, leave security, leave that area, and I'm like probably 3/4 of the way, to the ticket booth, to the tap styles to scan in, and one of the security guards runs me down and says, "Hey, sir, we need you to come with us." And I was like, okay, like, did I do something wrong? Like, he's like, "You just need to come with me." Okay, so he takes me back to the security area, and we show back over, we go back over there, and he said, like, you didn't wait in line, like you're supposed to wait in line to go through all your stuff. And so, I was on the very, the far left side, like there, the last guy on the far left side. And so you would just leave that and, walk towards, like, once they're done with you, just walk towards the tap styles. But anyway, like, I stood in line, I did everything I was supposed to do. They, everything checked out. It was a very pleasant experience. And again, and then this other security guard runs me down and brings me back. And so I walk with him all the way back to the security area, and and he's like, "Oh, we didn't go through your stuff." And well, it turns out what happened was, you have a whenever you go through the detector, it like takes a picture of you. And so apparently what they have to do is, after they check you out, make sure everything's good, they have to delete the picture, or clear the picture. I'm not sure exactly what they have to do, in terms of. But anyway, apparently they have to clear or delete the picture. So apparently, what happened was there was a shift change, and so this other guy thought I didn't stand in line and didn't get checked out, so they were going to check me back out again. And so the guy next to him did not shift change, and whenever he saw us brought back over, he said, "No, that guy's good." He said he checked him already. Uh, and so anyway, yeah, so it didn't get deleted. Yeah, so they didn't clear it, they didn't delete it, whatever it is that they security has to do. I guess that guy, just didn't think to click the button or do whatever he had to do on his side to clear it out. So it made me seem like it made it seem like I just, walked off, and it didn't get checked. And so anyway, big shout out to the guy that was there and could vouch for me, so I didn't have to get, shaken down again. But man, it was, I just had a rough time with security this time. It was a pleasant experience, but getting dragged back to security was not cool. um, especially when it wasn't my fault. And so anyway, I know mistakes happen, people are human and stuff, but I was like, what did I do? um, it was like they wanted me down. They went through my bag, like, everything checked out. I did exactly what I was supposed to do, and anyway, it's just an error, on his part before, during the shift change. So big shout out to the guy that was next to him, paying attention, enough attention to say, yeah, that guy already went. So anyway, just misunderstanding. But we went on. We did dinosaur. We did the Triceratops spin. We stopped at the Dino Bite Snacks, and Mom got a Dino Dig ice cream sandwich. And so me, Mom, Kylie Hadley, and Wyatt all split this Dino Bite, this Dino Dig ice cream sandwich. It was very, very good. I would highly recommend it. And it's big, so you can share it also. And then next we did It's Tough to Be a Bug, and we did a little bit of shopping. We next we did the Kilimanjaro Safari, and which was great. The safari was fantastic. White actually said earlier today that the safari is one of his favorite rides. He just randomly brought that up today, so that was cool. Um, but our tour guide for the safari just had a voice that would put you to sleep. I mean, she just, I don't know what it was. It's just like, man, it's like needed like a B12 shot or something. She just seemed really tired and was making me sleepy because her voice just sounded, kind of monotone and kind of soft. But anyway, the safari was great as always. Next, we ate at Satuli Canteen, and it seemed the last couple of trips we've had a big enough party to sit in the circle booth there at Satuli Canteen, and thankfully the booth has been open the last couple of trips, because they want you to have a party, six or more in a party to sit in that circle booth. I love that big circle booth there at at Satuli Canteen. We always have a great experience there at Satuli. I love the bowls that you can get there. It's a great place to sit and just enjoy air conditioning if you're able to get a seat inside. It's a great place to sit and just enjoy some air conditioning. Get a bunch of drink refills also. It's a great place to kind of rest and recharge because sometimes it can be really humid and hot there in Animal Kingdom. But Satuli Canteen was great. I got a big kick out of this. So next we did the Navi River journey, and I got a big kick out of it this time because they had a drink cart midway through the Satuli Canteen line, the standby line, and so literally they're selling drinks midway through the Satuli Canteen, standby line. I just for whatever reason I found that really funny. But people were buying them, just standing there in line. And anyway, for whatever reason, I just found that really humorous and got a good kick out of it. But we, enjoyed the ride. Thankfully the shaman, was functional, wasn't in B mode, so that was great. Anytime you get to see that animatronic, it's absolutely incredible. Next, we did Expedition Everest. Kylie enjoyed Expedition Everest so much that she actually did single rider, and we waited on her to do that. We kind of split up a little bit too. Yeah, there you go. Jonathan says, as you look to your left, you can go ahead and close your eyes and fall asleep, as it's a perfect time for a nap on this ride. We thank you for napping on this ride. Enjoy your sleep at Disney. It's pretty funny. Tina says, like one of my sociology professors in college. Ugh, yeah, right. For me, it was macroeconomics. God bless him. Professor Diffenay. He sounded exactly like the guy in Ferris Bueller's Day Off. And he had a dry sense of humor also. So you have that voice paired with having a dry sense of humor. Like he was funny, but there were some days, especially with me having that class after the lunchtime, it was just like uh, you're trying to fight it. Uh, and so you're trying to fight, their urge to nap or doze off a little bit. Not that the information wasn't interesting, but it's just, man, the tone, the sound of his voice, just about put you to sleep, especially if you got you're on a full stomach after lunch. Um, but anyway, again, Kylie loved Expedition Everest. She did single rider. We waited for her in the there, in that area around the gift shop, make sure that we could connect back with her as she got off the ride. And so Kylie, Hadley, and Mom went to go do the Maharaja Jungle Trek. Um, and or my bad, Mom, Kylie, and Hadley went to do Collie River Rapids. And it was a pretty decent wait time, honestly. I was not, I did not feel like getting wet. It's been a long time since I've ridden Collie River Rapids. But while they did that, I went to go do the Maharaja Jungle Trek and really enjoyed that. I had a great experience. There was a cast member. What was her name? I think her name was like, hold on a second. Let's see if I can pull it up real quick. Let's see here. All right, let me know if you can hear me. Sorry. Her name was Jessica Lynn from West Palm Beach, Florida. She was in the aviary or the bird area of the Maharaja Jungle Trek. She was incredibly personable. And I had a great time talking to her. Um, I don't want to get her in trouble, but we talked about Disney live action movies and specifically the Mufasa movie coming up. And she's like, hey, she was like, I feel like they're kind of retconning, you know, Mufasa's story a little bit, and that like he and Scar were, supposed to be blood brothers and yada yada yada. So, but anyway, we had a great conversation. Thank you, Jonathan. Um, really enjoyed talking to her. She told me about some birds native to Texas also. That I googled it, and while we were standing there, and she was talking about it, and I was like, yeah, I've seen those. I just didn't know what they're called. And so anyway, I had just a great time talking with her there in the bird area of the Maharaja Jungle Trek. And that's another thing is I feel like a lot of people, just they're like, oh, there's only a few rides and there, a couple shows there at Animal Kingdom. It's a half day park. No, no, my friend. There's so much you can do at Animal Kingdom. I mean, there's the affection section, Rafiki Planet Watch. There's the different area, like was it the Gorilla Path? There are all these other pathways that I think a lot of people just don't, acknowledge or really know that they're there, honestly. And so anyway, the Maharaja Jungle Trek, it's been a while since I'd done that. I had a great time. Really enjoyed it. And the theming also, some of the rock work and everything like that in that area is also incredible. I talked with the one of the keepers for the bats. I talked with them for a little bit. She was taking questions, so it was really neat. You know, um, but so I did that while Mom, Kylie, and Hadley rode Kali River Rapids. Wyatt and Landry were hanging out with Dad. Um, and so, but we got the pork egg rolls at Yak and Yeti at the quick service stand, and they were great. I saw a lot of stuff on that menu I would love to try. It's kind of hard for me to get past eating at Satuli Canteen at Animal Kingdom, but I would gladly do the quick service there at Yak and Yeti. Yeah, yeah. Tina says I love those treks, and I can spend hours chatting with the cast members. Yeah, she was just so they're both of them. The bat, the lady that was you're talking to people about the bats was very personable, and also Jessica Lynn there in the uh, aviary. I just had a great conversation with her specifically. But I would be glad, back to Yak and Yeti quick service. I would love to try more of the items on their menu there. And I sent a picture of the menu to Jillian. I was like, we should really like eat more of this stuff because they have a lot of good looking stuff on the menu. And so anyway, that was cool. And we closed out our day with Kilimanjaro Safari. Landry and Wyatt wanted to do Kilimanjaro Safari again. So that's what we did to close out our day. And we met back up with Mom, Kylie, and Hadley later on. They were going to try to get in line toward the end of the day at Flight of Passage. And I want to say it dropped down to I think it had dropped down to like 60 minutes or something. And then it bumped back up, like literally as they were walking up to it, I think it went back up to 75. And I told him, I was like, and this wasn't at this point, this was like not right at close. Um, but I told him, I was like, y'all should have just gotten in line. I mean, you know, we could wait on you. I mean, there's no reason we couldn't wait on you guys. And so anyway, they decided not to wait, so they'll have to hit that one next time. But it was a lot of fun. Closing out me and Dad and Landry and Wyatt closing out the day at Kilimanjaro Safari. Jillian and I the next day went to Boma. And so round one at Boma had the spiced pork ribs with tamarind honey barbecue sauce, African spice strip loin, and I put sambal sauce on it. I had olive oil, herb crusted potatoes, and the sweet. I'll tell you what, we got to figure out how to make this here at home. The sweet corn pudding with spinach and chocolate jam at Boma is so good. It's so yeah, Boma, right, Tina? Um, it is so good. And so Jillian and I had date night here. We did this on the last trip too. Um, but so that was round one for me. Round two, I went to try. This is the soup round, if you will, for me this time around. I had the sambal chicken corn chowder, the Ghanaian oxtail stew, which was a Western African inspired tomato based stew with tamarind, and the Coty d'Ivory, also known as seafood gumbo. All three of those were solid. Round three, I went back to the spiced pork ribs with tamarind honey barbecue sauce. I got the Senegalese salmon with yassa sauce. Yeah, there, and welcome to my home. Yeah, there you go, Tina. And then I got the coconut rice, which and something else I would love to be able to make. It's like coconut flavored basmati rice, coconut rice. I got the chicken with tamarind honey barbecue sauce, which was great. I got the sweet again. I got the sweet corn pudding with spinach and chocolate jam. Round four, I got the spiced pork ribs with tamarind honey barbecue sauce, the African spice strip loin, and I put Boma mustard on it this time around, which was chipotle and teriyaki mustard sauce. Yeah, round three is when you go back for face, right, Jonathan? So that's the thing. So the last time I went, I tried, I tried as much as I could. I tried some. I think I had watermelon thrown in there as a palate cleanser, and but this time, I could pretty well remember my favorites, and so I went stuck with the hits, if you will. Um, but and it's all fantastic. Don't get me wrong. I got my third helping of the sweet corn pudding with spinach and chocolate jam, and some more coconut rice. Round five was the dessert round. I got the apple cranberry tart, which was solid, a zebra dome, and a Madagascan vanilla bean cheesecake, which was very good. And I think that's a newer offering potentially there at Boma, the Madagascan vanilla bean cheesecake. So enjoyed all three of those. Yeah, I loved it. I love Boma. You know, Animal Kingdom Lodge is just, um, I don't want to give Disney any ideas, but you could about charge admission to Animal Kingdom Lodge, which I guess technically you kind of do if I'm paying to eat there at a restaurant there, or if you're paying to park, which you don't have to pay to park if you have a reservation there. So anyway, um, I love this. I love going to Boma. I love the Animal Kingdom Lodge, and I haven't even explored the lodge. See, what I need to do is when Tina and Chuck are there, I need to have them show me around the lodge because, like, I've walked through like the main. I've been in the gift shop. I've walked through the main lobby. I've been down to Boma, and I've walked out the doors. Yeah, you're right, Jonathan. Um, I've walked out the doors to go check out the Savannah view. And sat next to the fire pit. But I've not really actually explored, if you will, the lodge. Like I've walked through the main thoroughfare, if you will, which is incredible. I mean, just gonna walk out those doors, and there's giraffes and zebras and all sorts of other critters. It's amazing. It really is. But anyway, yeah, and I like they're not super comfortable, but the giant rocking chairs that they have next to the fire pit there, I went and sat one of those rocking chairs for a while. And it was so funny because we're sitting there at dinner and it's date night. We're sitting there at dinner and we're talking with Jillian. And Jillian said, she said, would you mind if I went into the parks? Like if I just took transportation, went into the parks? I said, no, like, go ahead. You got an AP. I'll just do my own thing. I said, I'll meet up with the rest of the bunch at Disney Springs. Yeah, always all above the lobby. I mean, it really is. It's amazing. The Animal Kingdom Lodge lobby. I mean, it's incredible. Um, just the size of it and the theming. I mean, we used the term immersion a whole lot, and it is absolutely incredible. But Jillian went off to go check out one of the parks. I told her we'd get back with her later on. I could pick her up later on. But anyway, so it's just me. Hung out a little bit. Watched the animals in the savannah a little bit, and then I went to go sit in one of those big chairs next to the fire pit. And as I'm sitting there, I'm just kind of rocking, enjoying, taking in the views, the sights and scenes. And there's a couple that comes. They're probably mid 40s, anywhere between mid 40s, mid 50s. I'm gonna guess closer to mid 40s though, or mid to late 40s max. I'm guessing. Anyway, I just struck up conversation with them. I think their names are like Mike and Emily. I texted Jillian their names. I didn't have put them in the notes, but anyway, um, it was I just had the most pleasant conversation talking with them. And, oh, Jonathan said, I thought the story was leading to fall asleep in the chair. No, no, I did not. Um, but anyway, I just had the best conversation with them, and I asked them. I said, are you guys, are you guys just here checking out the, passing through, or are you guys staying at the resort? And they said, oh, this is date night for us. And I laughed, and I said, oh, it was date night for me too, except my wife ended up going to the parks, which I can't blame her. I was like, she has an AP and I don't, so and the wife got a kick out of that, and it made her laugh. And I talked with them for a bit, about them. We talked about all sorts of stuff about the parks, and she grew up going to Disneyland, and he grew up going to Disney World, and so I think they ended up in Florida after getting married, and had said they really enjoyed living in the area, and they said this is date night for us. I said, man, I would love. I was like, I would love to live close enough to just have regular date night at Boma and hang out at the Animal Kingdom Lodge. But anyway, we had a great conversation. I went back to the Animal Kingdom. Oh, I don't have it on me, but I got the frame, which I need to grab it. So I'd shown it on before. Yeah, Will needs his own Disney AP. Thanks, Tina. Um, but I got the frame for Wyatt's name. So there's an artist. They have an artist that's stationed in the Animal Kingdom Lodge gift shop who can take your name and make each letter a Disney, different Disney character, or Star Wars character, or Marvel character. They can take your name and make each letter of your name a different character. Yeah, I got to try Jico sometime. Yeah, I'd love to. Again, I need you and Chuck to show me around Animal Kingdom Lodge, Tina. But anyway, we finally got a frame for that. So mom and dad, the reason they didn't get it framed whenever they had it made for Wyatt originally was um, they weren't sure what color. I think they just come in black. And so they were like, we weren't sure if it was going to clash with like your decorations that you have in his room already. And so they were like, well, we can just get a frame. And so of course, you know, it's been sitting in the little package, for however long now. And so finally we got the frame. And we got back home, put it in its frame. It's in Wyatt's room. We haven't hung it up yet, like we did Wesley's. But anyway, so Wyatt's name is in different Avengers characters, different Marvel characters. So it's really really cool. We got Wesley's done in Mickey and Friends characters, so it's really neat too. And so I'm glad that we have both of their names done up in that artwork, and now they're both frames, which is great. So, but anyway, I hopped on the bus. Which, side note here, the whenever you take a bus there at Animal Kingdom Lodge, you have to go over to the other side. And I can't remember. I think one's the Kidani Village, and it's the other side of the Jumbo House. Help me out, Tina. Um, anyway, so I was taking a bus to Disney Springs. I'm on the side with with Boma and Jico and the big Animal Kingdom Lodge lobby on that side. And so I went to the buses there, and I probably look kind of silly lugging around this picture frame, for the artwork for Wyatt's name. But anyway, I hopped on the bus, and so you have to go over to the other side of Animal Kingdom to pick up. Hey, there you go. No, there's a bus stop at Jumbo House. Okay, so that's what I was looking for. So we had to take it. We had to, I rode the bus over to the other side. We got more people on the bus there, and then we went to Disney Springs, and it took a decent amount of time to get there, honestly. But anyway, I got to Disney Springs, had a great time. Met up with everybody else, dad, and the girls. And Wyatt, and then mom ended up showing up later on too. Wyatt, Wesley, and so it all checked out. And I ended up picking up Jillian later on. But um, let's see. Trying to remember, I didn't take. I should have taken better notes. Again, I have to run through my notes for the Hollywood Studios Day better, and Also, too, there was one night we met up with Mike and Russ, um, and that was a whole lot of fun. So it was what? Let's see, me, mom, Kylie, Mike, and Russ, so I got there kind of late, and so I met up with them, and then went to watch Disney Dreams Dreams that Soar. So yeah, we did the drone show that day, right? Yes, that's right, Jonathan. So fantastic viewing area for that. A big shout out to Mike for getting us into that viewing area. To watch it with him. And I apologize, Mike, for oohing and awing in the background of your filming of Disney Dreams that Soar. It was just those were my authentic responses. I thoroughly enjoyed Disney Dreams that Soar. I saw it multiple times while we were there. I caught like the last. It's just so whenever Jillian and I drove in, we got a polite pig one night. Um, but as we were driving in, we caught like the last 3 minutes of the show. Oh, thank you. Tina says, yeah, oh yes, okay. Disney Springs is the only bus that stops at Jumbo first and then goes to Kadani and then to Disney Springs. Yeah, that's exactly what happened. Thank you, Tina. Um, and so anyway, we I thoroughly enjoyed the Disney Dreams and Sword drone show. I will say the kind of the handicap area, the viewing like and the angle of the drones is much better than at the regular viewing area. And so I really appreciated Mike, like letting us hang out with him and watch the show from there. And actually, what I did, yeah, Tina says, "Oh, you're supposed to ooh and ah at those shows. It's a requirement." There you go. What I actually ended up doing, because there were a couple people on, off behind me and kind of off to the side, on either side of me that were in wheelchairs. What I ended up doing was I just ended up, going like full on catcher mode, and I just got down on both knees and watched the show that way. And honestly, like I could still see everything just fine because I knew that like both of these people, that were in wheelchairs. Now it's like, they're not going to have as good a viewing if if I'm standing for this. And so I just went ahead. I was like, I can still have a good, um, I can still have a good view of this show, and also help them to have a better view of the show. And one of them thanked me profusely after the show was over, because I think she filmed it herself on her phone. She's like, I'm going to show this to my friend once we get back, and she's like, you didn't have to do that. And anyway, just a little bit of kindness, a little bit of consideration. I was in that area. I'm completely able-bodied. It was fun to watch it with Mike and Russ and Mom and Kylie. But I tried to do my part too. Think of the people around me. This is not me tooting my own horn. This is just kind of a reminder of, hey, for some people, this is their only crack at seeing something, or this is their once in a lifetime trip, or sometimes it's just a little bit of kindness goes a long way. And again, this is not me tooting my own horn. This is um, just saying that it's good to be considerate of others. And I enjoyed the show just fine. And if you end up watching Mike's video of the show, you can hear me enjoying the show. So again, sorry, Mike. But anyway, it was so cool. It's amazing. I don't want to give away spoilers, but they do some really really cool stuff in this drone show. And I would love to see it. I don't want to lose fireworks, but I would love to see drones incorporated into some of the nighttime shows. Uh, but anyway, the other thing too is we I think both times I actually stopped and watched it. So there was a couple of times I saw it from a distance because we were still there. Actually, that first night Jillian and I went, the 10:45 show was canceled because it was too windy. But so that first time we were down there, we saw like the last 3 minutes of it as we were driving in, which is pretty cool. Um, that you can actually see it from that far away. You don't get the music whenever you watch it from a distance. That's why you got to be in an actual viewing area so you can get the music that goes along with it. But anyway, so that was so we caught like the last 3 minutes of it as we were driving into Disney Springs. The first night Jillian and I went in, and then the second show ended up getting canceled. And then I watched it with Mike and Russ, and then it was kind of cool because we were still hanging out with them, and we are in the parking garage, and we could see the show like in the distance then. And I did the exact same thing another night where we watched the early show and then saw the later show from a distance as we were leaving. So pretty neat. But anyway, yeah, just you know, try to be considerate of other people. Especially, there's been times where we've been waiting on a parade or something, and a perfect example of this was the after hours Christmas party that we did. It wasn't very merry. It wasn't the Mickey's Very Merry Christmas party. It was the after hours Christmas party that they did, or holiday party that they did. I think 2020, 2021ish, somewhere in there. Uh, anyway, this this couple told us, hey, you can move your stroller down in front of us. Our so your son gets a better view. They said our kid's asleep anyway, so they're not going to end up seeing the parade regardless. So I just thought that was really sweet of them. So anyway, it's good to be considerate of other people as much as you can. So anyway, um, that wraps up my notes. Again, we had a lot of fun. I was 2020 first after shutdown. There you go. Thank you, Tina, for the assist. Um, but we had a fantastic trip. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Um, it was really cool. The only day that all Bone Party of 12 was in the parks all together was for Hadley's birthday, May 31st. We had a great day. It was a whole lot of fun. Hopefully, there's a little taste of Disney. Maybe we'll be able to do that again at some point. And this time we'll hopefully get Adam and Lauren there along with us. But it was amazing, to have all of us together enjoying it at the park. We had a lot of fun the other days too with Kylie Hadley Landry, with me and Jillian and the boys and mom and dad. Had a lot of fun. All the 3 other park days. But anyway, just had a great time. I did want to mention, let's see, Test Track is officially closed for the retheme. They're going back to um, they're going back to a different iteration of I think it's kind of back to the world of motion. I think it was called. Um, let's see, June 17th. Let's see. Yes. So it closed June 17th. Here we go. Sorry. I'm trying to get my notes up here real quick. But anyway, Test Track by let's see, by Chevrolet. I rode the previous iteration of Test Track. I didn't do the World of Motion. I think am I saying that right? Hold on a second. Sorry, I'm trying to find the right note here. Yeah, World of Motion. Somewhat reverting to less neon, etc. I'm happy about that. I rode the previous iteration of Test Track. I never rode World of Motion, but I did ride the crash dummy version of Test Track, which I thought was really cool. Here we go. Yeah, that's true. But I rode the first iteration of Test Track. I never did World of Motion. I did the crash dummy version of Test Track, which I thought was a lot of fun. It's pretty neat. Jonathan says being more like Horizon's World of Motion platform. Yeah, I've heard that they're trying to go, for an uplifting, triumphant, theme. But anyway, I thought the crash dummy version of Test Track was cool. I think that the test point, people have been calling it Test Track 2.0, by Chevrolet. I thought that was pretty cool. I always enjoyed building my car. um, and seeing how it does on all the, performance scores and all that. I think it's a fun ride. Whenever you say, "Oh, it's just like like the same track from Cars, or that they have at Cars Land for Radiator Springs Racers," you're like, man, that's a way better ride than what we got. But I for one enjoyed the Test Track 2.0. Um, this current iteration of it now, but I look forward to the World of Motion inspired version that we're going to get. But I always enjoyed building my car. I liked making a commercial for my car, and once you get off the ride and checking out some of the cars that they had parked in the building there as you're exiting Test Track. I enjoyed like scanning my band and like driving my car around. Um, Also on the little track, well, I like interactive stuff, and so anyway, I liked that iteration. I like both iterations, of Test Track that I've done thus far. Again, I didn't do World of Motion prior to that. Yeah, Tina says, yeah, I liked the crash dummies far more than on the Neon. World of Motion was amazing, but I get the whole car thing being sponsored by GM, but the Neon, not much Imagineering. Yeah, I get that. Jonathan says, but I don't know how it'll turn out. Test Track has a speed part of it that those older rides don't. Um, yeah, that's a good point. But I really like Test Track. Another thing too is I used to work. Actually, I used to work for GM Financial back in the day. Um, and that's why I bought this little ride. So RIP. I got this because I worked for GM Financial. So there's a conference room that sits above Test Track. And I assume they still do this. Again, I'm no longer, I don't work for GM Financial anymore. But um, I used to be able to go and show my business card, and they would let me go up, and I'd take the elevator up, and they had free refreshments. So they had like a soda fountain, and they had two big kiosks where you could take as much time as you wanted to design your car, and then scan your band, and go down, and they give you a fast pass. Yeah, literally gave me a paper fast pass to go and ride the ride. Um, it was really cool, and I'm grateful to have had that experience. Um, but anyway, so yeah, I had to get this, as a memento. Yeah, yeah. Tina says yes. Joey and it's Joey's World have been in that lounge. Yeah, it's a really neat experience. So yeah, it's my memento. Glad that I bought this, especially to commemorate my time working for the company or branch of the company. Uh, but anyway, yeah, they had a bunch of chairs, like futuristic looking chairs, and also the view. They had these, glass pane windows that lined one side of this lounge, and it was a great view of Spaceship Earth. I mean, there are a bunch of trees in the way, but it was a great view of Spaceship Earth, and really neat to look out on all the people. And then there was a window on the back side where you could kind of look down and kind of barely see into the ride. Um, anyway, it's pretty neat. I poked my head into the conference room, whenever, because they tell you whether or not there are people meeting in there. Obviously, you don't want to disturb a meeting that's going on in there. But anyway, it was really cool to get, me and mom and dad, I think Adam also. So 2018, I got us all into that area. Um, yeah, Jonathan said also that car might go away. So that's going to be a collectible car. Yeah. But anyway, it was just great. They had a pin board in there. They had two big kiosks where you could design your car. The soda fountain, complimentary. It was a great place to, just refresh and recharge and kind of hang out, enjoy a fun view, and also get your fast pass for test track. Um, so yeah, the 2018 trip we took full advantage of that. They had a pin board in there too, which was neat. But anyway, they're always the receptionists that they had working there in the conference room area were always incredibly nice. So you know, I was that was one of the things I was most sad about whenever I didn't work for GM Financial anymore, was not being able to get in that lounge, not get a fast pass to test track anymore. But anyway, it was pretty cool. I'm glad to have had that experience. I feel like it's somewhat exclusive, if you will. So um, anyway, yeah, so shout out to Test Track. I'm looking forward to seeing what the next iteration of it will look like. Uh, you know, Hopefully they still have some interactive stuff. After the ride's over, because I've always enjoyed that part of it. Let's see here. I think Tiana's Bayou Adventure, I want to say, opens the 28th. We got an opening date, which I was shocked by this. We did get an opening date for Country Bear Jamboree. Let me sorry, pull this up real quick. Let's see. Let's see how nice my internet is to me real quick. If I can see how quickly let's pull this up. I should have written this date down, so I apologize for not doing that. Country Bear Jamboree. Hold on a second. Reopening date. July 17th. I was shocked, honestly. Of course, I don't know. I feel like this is a situation where Imagineering could be working on the Bears. Like, if it, I don't know how the specifics or anything related to, refreshing the show, but, I figured, they've got new costumes. They're reworking the show. It's going to be different. They're doing Disney songs and different country music genres, which kind of sends me up a wall. I'm not going to get into that mess because uh, I'll beat that up some other time. But anyway, but the Bears are set to reopen a little under a month from now, July 17th. I was very shocked to see that that show's coming back so quickly. I don't know if it's a situation where Imagineering is able to work on each of the Bears, and they just gotta essentially move the move the animatronics and all the controls and things like that that go with them. I don't know if it's a situation where they just pick them up, move them out, and bring the new ones in, set them into place, or what. I don't know how that works, but I was very shocked to see that the show is coming back so quickly. I definitely, especially Tiana's Bayou Adventure, opening the end of this month. I thought they would have staggered it a bit more, and had them opening up later this summer, but that's not the case. Set to reopen July 17th, and the new show. I'm hoping, I'm hoping this new show isn't terrible. Everybody, it's well documented how much we love the Country Bear Jamboree at the Hitchhiking Bones YouTube channel. Me and Mom specifically, but I'm hoping. I pled, I pleaded my case with Imagineering on a previous Hitchhiker chat talking about the Country Bear Jamboree. Again, I hope the new show's good. I do absolutely hate the fact that they're going to lose, some of their, originality, and that they're going to be doing, country music covers of "Try Everything" and "The Bare Necessities," and I can't remember one or two other ones. But anyway, at the end of the day, I'm glad the Bears are still there. They can always rework the show. But again, I'm not going to beat this up or belabor the point, because we all know where we stand here, or where I stand here. So anyway, very shocked to see the Bears reopening July 17th. We definitely would have thought they would have targeted later in the summer. But anyway, um, let's see here. So yes, Test Track officially closed for the reimagining. I'm very intrigued. Let me look up the dates real quick. I was wondering what the D23 dates were for this year. 2024. Oh, let's see here. So the expo runs August 9th through 11th. And I've heard through the grapevine, we make some big announcements this year at D23. I've heard through the grapevine. That's all I know. I don't know anything about what that means. Um, but we shall see. August 9th through 11th, D23. I've heard kind of rumors, kind of rumblings, if you will. I think that maybe we'll get some more information on the Tropic Americas section that's rumored to retheme the Dino Land. Supposedly with that should get a new Indiana Jones ride there at Animal Kingdom. and possibly some Coco uh, uh, Encanto stuff there. We'll see what we get. We should get more information, and that's just around the corner. We're less than a couple months out from D23 Expo, so got that to look forward to. Hopefully, we get some concrete stuff. Hopefully, this time around, we're not getting a bunch of blue sky. We could do this or we could do that. Hopefully, we get some really concrete plans this go around. uh, because we're past some of the openings. We've got Galaxy's Edge behind us, we got Tron behind us, we got Cosmic Rewind behind us, we've got Tiana's Bayou Adventure now behind us. At once D23 happens this year, the Country Bear new show will be behind us. All these new things opening up. So we'll see what's coming next. Um, hopefully we get some concrete information and not a bunch of blue sky, potential projects. But yeah, I'm very intrigued to see what we're gonna get. So yeah, got that to look forward to. Let's see here. Um, all right, I think. Let's see. Sorry, I'm getting back to my notes here. Yep. Tiana's Bayou Adventure opening June 28th. Country Bear Jamboree opening July 17th. Oh, watched Inside Out 2 with Wyatt on Father's Day. Big thank you to Jillian for getting the tickets for me and Wyatt to go watch that movie. Wyatt really enjoyed it. I also enjoyed it. Definitely one of the better movies that Pixar's put out in quite some time. And I enjoyed Onward. I enjoyed Luca. Um, but Inside Out 2 was very solid. And enjoyed the movie. Um, I I would say I still think, of course, I have to see it again. Probably on Disney Plus. I would imagine at some point Jillian will want to take Wyatt, and I'll watch Wesley and let them do that so she can see the movie in theaters too. But definitely one of the better efforts that they put out in recent years. Wyatt really enjoyed it. He liked the new characters. There were certain parts of the movie that he really enjoyed. But it's one of those great movies that kind of handles some heavier topics in terms of like emotions. That kids are feeling, or even adults too. It's a really neat way to and I've seen articles written by people before that they kind of help use that movie to help kids kind of talk through what they're feeling. And so anyway, kind of help kids and adults relate to each other in that way. If you're feeling anger or joy or sadness or disgust or whatever, being able to acknowledge those emotions. But anyway, we both enjoyed the movie. I still think I prefer the original, but it's solid and it's worth seeing. So it had a huge weekend at the box office. It did really really well, and it had a huge opening. I can't remember. I think Incredibles. I want to say Incredibles 2, maybe. I didn't see the final numbers, but I want to say Incredibles 2, maybe the may have been the only one that surpassed Inside Out 2's opening. But again, I didn't see the final numbers on that. But they came in much higher than they expected. I think they were expecting 90 million or so, and I want to say it came in around 150-ish. So again, I didn't see final numbers, but that was the projections that I saw. But it's solid movie. Definitely would recommend. There's no junk in it. It's a great sequel to the original. Handles Riley, growing up and experiencing some new emotions very, very well. But yeah, thoroughly enjoyed it. Alrighty. Real quick, I'm showing 6 people watching. It is 11:11 p.m. Central, so it's after midnight Eastern. Do you folks want me to open a pack of Lorcana cards? Because if you want me to, I'll be glad to do so. But if you would rather go to sleep, and rather me call it for the night, that's okay too. So let me know. in the chat if you want me to open a pack of Lorcana cards. I got one over here, to ready to go. But if y'all want me to wrap it up, that's fine too. I appreciate y'all hanging in there with me. There we go. Tina says I'm still watching. There we go. Jonathan says LOL. By all means, let's see what you get. Tina says sure, go ahead. All righty, there we go. Thanks for the participation, y'all. I have a pack here of Into the Inklands. This is the third set of Lorcana cards. It's got Jafar on the cardboard. This is a hanger pack, is what they call them. So Jafar's on the outside cardboard of the artwork, holding a lamp up in the air with a bunch of kind of red, purplish smoke around him. Let's see who's on the. Yep, and Jafar's actually on the actual pack artwork itself, also. So let's see what we get here. I've not opened up very much Into the Inklands, at least not on not on stream. And so we'll see what we get. This set was the first one where they introduced locations. So the location cards are horizontal, character cards are vertical. So first card we got here is Pluto, Mickey's clever friend. So a sapphire card. Next we have Kita from Atlantis, Royal Warrior. Next we have a Kakamora. Speaking of, talked about the Kakamora float earlier. Hopefully they bring that back for Moana 2 because it's fantastic. It's a menacing sailor, Kakamora, common card. Next is Sir Hiss. Let's see, aggravating Asp from Robin Hood. We have Iago. Let's see, Pretty Polly. Jonathan says, I almost bought a Inklands box, but I held off on to save money. Don't know how I passed on the box as it was $10 off a Walmart sale. Ooh, nice, Jonathan. Let's see, we're still in the commons here. This is Heal What Has Been Hurt. Really pretty artwork. You've got Rapunzel with her with long hair and both her parents there, giving them a hug with her hair all over the place and a bunch of lanterns. It's just a really pretty artwork. But Jonathan, Amazon, I know you're in Canada, but Amazon has Into the Inklands booster boxes marked down to like $109 right now. They are super cheap comparatively. I mean, whenever it's $143.99 retail for a box, and they got it marked down, almost $40, that's hard to beat. Next is a first uncommon card in this pack. It's How Far I'll Go. Got Moana with Tafiti in the background there, looking off over the ocean. Next, we have Thaddeus E. Clang, the metallic leader, villain card. Steel, pretty cool. Jonathan says, one day I'll start Inkland. Here we go. I've got a dream. I had a dream once. It's a really fun card. Several of the characters from the Snuggly Duckling from Tangled. I had a dream once. What is it? He says, go live your dream. He says, Flynn Rider says, thanks, I will, or something like that. He says, not you, not you, your dream stinks. Oh, me. I have Lucky, the 15th puppy from 101 Dalmatians, being carried by Pongo in the artwork here. Jonathan says it was $70 Canadian before tax with 8 packs and the usual box fixings like die sleeves, etc. Oh, very nice. First, I have been paying attention. So that Lucky was a rare. You can see by the little triangle here on the bottom. We have a super rare, a Scrooge McDuck. Okay. So there's a foil, which like holographic, if you will, version of this card. This is a super rare card, so I'm thrilled about that. There's a holographic version of this card, and instead of it just being like regular foil, it has like holographic dollar signs, and it's just super cool. And it's not even the enchanted version. It's just the foil version of this card is super cool, and I would love to have pulled it. But I'm just glad to have gotten this one. So I got a rare, a super rare, and we have rare sorcerer's hat from Fantasia. That is a cool holo. They're cool. Cold foil is what they call the holographic in Lorcana. So check that out. Really, really neat. I don't know how well that comes through in the video, but that's the sorcerer's hat is a holographic or cold foil rare. Uh, so that's great. And then here's the they didn't do puzzle cards for the third set. It tells you how to play with the locations. So it's got a description on how to play the game with locations. So yeah. Oh, I'm thrilled about that. It's anytime you can get a foil version of a rare card or above is a great day. So I'm very pleased, and this one looks great also too. Again, I don't know. Yeah, Jonathan says looks great. Makes the hat pop out. Yeah, it looks even better in person. So, um, also too, I don't know how well you can see this. See if I can get. But there's a Mickey. It looks like right here, little shadow of Mickey in the background. I don't know how well you can see that or if you can, but anyway, it's pretty cool. But yeah, the artworks, yeah, see, this is nice. I have no idea about the game or anything, but the artwork on the cards are beautiful. Oh, they really are though. So that's a great pack. Rare, super rare, and uh, rare. It's really really cool. So anyway, solid pulls tonight, Lorcana. Appreciate y'all hanging out with me tonight again. Missed mom this week. Prayers for Mr. Mike and Miss Brenda. Mr. Mike's health. But look forward to having mom back on next week. Let's see. Sorry. Yeah, check out our channel. We have videos, new live streams from our trip. Shorts also. We've posted some of the shorts from our trip. I have more to post that I need to get out there. And then let's see, mom has opened up a Lorcana pack recently on the channel. I filmed a short and showed that. But anyway, it's hard to believe it because we're in June, but Halloween season, at least in the Disney parks, is coming up very soon. In August. We have a lot of stuff to look forward to in terms of the parks. Here's to hoping that Tiana's Bayou Adventure, and hoping that they get everything figured out with the ride, system and the animatronics, so on and so forth. Here's to hoping that the Country Bear Jamboree show isn't terrible. Again, I'm going to reserve judgment till they open it, and I have the chance to actually watch the show. But I'm not. My expectations are, admittedly not high, because I'm so fond of the previous Bear show that this description of the new show has not got me real fired up about their reimagining of their show. But anyway, I'm just glad the Bears are still going to be there performing because I love them. But thanks to our channel members, Alex and Charlie Kennett, Mike Wheeler, T. McNeil, Mike 88 NYC, Texas Takes, and Pam's fam. Thanks to everybody for watching. Thanks to our ghost host moderators keeping the chat family friendly. Are watching on the replay. We love our team replay. Big shout out to Lisa, Keith, and Joey of It's Joey's World, captains of our team replay. We appreciate you guys. Love and appreciate you guys. So, thank you to our ghost host moderators. I really appreciate y'all keeping the chat family friendly. And just hanging out with me. Again, we missed mom a whole lot this week. Appreciate y'all, hanging in here, hanging in there and hanging out with me in the chat tonight. I know it's a little bit different not having, two people on screen talking. So, but anyway, look forward to having mom back on next week. Check out theliveplace.com. It's basically a TV guide listening for family-friendly live streams. Dean maintains that site. If you haven't checked out his YouTube channels, check them out. The Live Place and Dreamers Empire are the name of those channels. Check out TubeBuddy. If you're a YouTube creator looking to grow your channel, check out TubeBuddy. It's a great resource for that. It tracks channel data that helps you grow your channel. Basic version's free. There's a paid version. If you have under 1,000 subs, it's discounted. Use our link in the description below. We both get a free month. Check out Stickermule if you're interested in buttons, stickers, pins, magnets. Oh my, If you're interested in any of that, good quality, low cost promotional items, use our link below. We both get a $10 credit for a future order. I think that about covers it. We go live every Tuesday night, 9 o'clock p.m. Central, 10 o'clock Eastern. Be sure to join us live or watch on the replay. Hey, Stacy, welcome in. Yes, you did. You caught me at the tail end here. I appreciate you commenting. Before the stream got started, I had some technical difficulties, and then mom's, being there for a friend. She's got a friend whose husband's in bad health currently, and so she's being there for a friend. So she's not here tonight, but again, prayers to Mr. Mike and Miss Brenda. Um, but look forward to having Mom on again next week. But remember to like, subscribe, and ring the bell, and so you get notifications when we go live. Hang out with us on social media. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and X. If you want to reach out to us, send us a direct message on Instagram or email us at thehitchhikingbones@gmail.com. Um, I think that's about everything. Test track is closed. Tiana's Bayou Adventure officially opens June 28th. The New Country Bear show is coming July 17th. The D23 Expo dates are August 9th through 11th. And so, those are just kind of some quick hit dates there. Hopefully we get some more, there at D23. Hopefully we get some more information on specifics related to the retheming of Test Track. I know that they've talked about it being, World of Motion inspired. So we'll see what we get. But looking forward to seeing what news they have coming down the pike at D23 here in a couple months. So hope you all have a wonderful week. Again, I appreciate y'all hanging in there. I know it's different not having Mom here. And I miss having her here, but she's, taking care of her friend. So, I'm thankful she's able, is able to do that. But yes, absolutely, Jonathan. Thoughts and prayers to Danny of Griswold Family Vacay, who lost his father recently. 100%. Yes. Prayers for Danny and his family. It's tough loss. So much love, thoughts and prayers to Danny and his family. I hope you all have a great week. Thanks for being here. I'm sure Mom, whenever she's able to get back on the stream, probably next week, will actually. I think she'd work through like halfway through a slideshow. And so anyway, I'm sure we'll actually show some pictures, and I'm sure she'll have some notes as well. I need to go back through and think through all we did on our Hollywood Studios Day, because I usually take very good notes, but we had more kids with us at this time on this trip, so it's a little bit more difficult to remember to keep track of all the notes. But some days I documented down to a T. Hollywood Studios, I didn't document at all, aside from pictures and just being there in the moment, experiencing it. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the trip recap. We had a wonderful time. It was incredible again to have Bone Party of 12 there on Hadley's birthday, May 31st. Is a great day specifically. I mean, we had a lot of fun the other days too, but it was neat to be there with Stephen, Jamie, and his whole bunch. Again, we just missed Adam and Lauren that day, but it was pretty cool to have Bone Party of 12 there at the Magic Kingdom that day. But anyway, love you all. Hope you have a great week. Thanks for hanging in there. Remember, at the Hitchhiking Bones YouTube channel, there's always room for one more. So please hurry back. Bye, everybody. Have a great week, y'all.